pilgrims, and kid loves it and just now loves history and is, for the first time in his life, actually has a passion about something that he wants to actively engage in, not just be a spectator of. It was a great call. And the point was made, it's not just in education that young people are being lied to. It's also the media. Now, before you go, come on, Rush, everybody knows that. No, wait just a second. I'm going to try to go. I think it's a great point. Because the mainstream media really does, and has been for the longest time, lie. And as I read omnivorously. I read everything. I don't just read the stuff that reinforces what I believe. I spend probably more time reading what liberals think and what they're writing, because I think it's crucial to understand it in order to be able to predict it, in order to be able to inform other people about it. And what strikes me as I do this is how infallible, for example, millennial liberals, maybe in general, how infallible they believe the New York Times to be. Not just that it's the news authority, it's infallible. They think that NBC Nightly News or CBS Nightly News or ABC is infallible. And whatever anything is said or written in the mainstream media, they just absorb it all as gospel. They don't even question it. And so the New York Times really is writing some insane stuff these days. The op-ed page on the New York Times yesterday and the editorial page, it was all devoted to literally lunatic rants against Trump. And many of these rants featured just outright lies and false allegations about things Trump has said and has done. And these young little millennials are out there, and they're reading, and they're absorbing, and they're believing all of it. They do not do what I do. They do not expose themselves to things that they don't believe. Like, they would never listen to this program. In fact, one of these little tech bloggers, way back when I first started mentioning this, people, well, who are these tech bloggers? Well, you name some names. They want to know what you're reading so we can read it too. So I listed 6. And one of the 6 was so indignant that he said he was going to refuse to allow anybody arriving at his blog from this audience to have access to it, because I am such a bigot. They live in a closed-off area where they know nothing other than what's in, really, the New York Times. I can't describe for you. Shortly before the election, the New York Times announced that the web version was going to be free for 2 weeks, and you would not believe that was Christmas morning to some of these millennials. Well, man, the Times is free. It's not behind the paywall. And they started spreading the word so that everybody would know. Now, you and me, the New York Times is an embarrassment. We know the New York Times is an ideological member of the Democrat Party and the American left, and it's not news, and it's not factual, and they make things up, and they're biased, all of those things. But the people that read the New York Times, both on the Upper West Side of Manhattan and all of New York, and wherever else in the country, it's infallible.